हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान् सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधो दीनबंधो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नम ओं विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्ति वेदांत स्वामिनि इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, dear devotees, for being here. This is session 17 of the Antilila of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Today is actually from a Christian standpoint. Today is Good Friday here in the US, maybe also in India. I'm not sure. It's Good Friday. So indeed, for us, it's a Good Friday because we are hearing and chanting about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And for us, every day is good. Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday and Thursday. Every day, whenever we hear and chant about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, that day is transcendently good. Srimad Bhagavatam explains that how in the spiritual world, every step is a dance, every word is a song, and every day is a festival. In the spiritual world, every single day is celebrated. Not just celebrated, but is actually like a festival. In our Gaudiya calendar itself, we see that in a month, there are so many festivals that come. Now the next would be Shri Nrsimha Chaturdashi. Before that was Ram Navami. Before that in March was Gaura Purnima. Before that in February we had Nityananda Trayodashi. In January you have Makar Sankranti and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taking sannyas and all those festivals. Now from June onward we'll have again so many festivals. There's the Rath Yatra that will come. Then it's the Pani Hati, Chidadahi festival that is there in August. We have Janmashtami, we have Balram Purnima, then there is Radhashtami. Karte Karte will be in October and then there will be again Kartik. And then the enthusiasm will skyrocket because every time we see when it's Kartik, devotees are um, excited. You know what's coming up. It's the same ghee lamp, it's the same Damodar Ashtakam, it's the same Damodar, it's the same story. Everything is same. But still there is an excitement. Hmm? तदैव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवं तदैव शाश्वतमनसो महोत्सवम् तदैव शोकार्णवशोषणं नृणां यदुत्तमश्लोकयशोऽनुगीयते. Srimad Bhagavatam explains तदैव रम्यं रुचिरं नवं नवम्. Krishna's pastimes are ramyam, ruchiram, and navam navam. Every pastime of Krishna, whenever we hear it, it's tasty to the ear. You want to hear it again and again. It's palatable, and at the same time, it's navam navam. It's fresh. Even though we have heard it in the past. Now Narsingha Chaturdashi may come. It's the same pastime. पता है क्या होने वाला है. प्रहलाद महाराज नरसिंह देव पिलर से आएंगे. You know the storyline, but still we wait for it. Why? Because Krishna's pastimes are Navam Navam. But we find any news of this world, hmm, that is not Navam Navam. It is not fresh. It is stale. Hmm. Even though the news may be from all parts of the world, news, it's an acronym, right? North, East, West, South. That's how the word news comes. The information that is brought from all the places is news. But we find that it's not Navam Navam, it's not fresh for the fact that if we are given a Times of India newspaper of 2005, for example, would we be interested in studying that, in reading that? No, because 20 साल पुराना है, क्या करेंगे पढ़ के? बहुत कुछ बदल गया उसके बाद. It's not a reality. It's a reality if you're in 2005 for that one day, that one week, but things move so fast, it doesn't make any sense. So now if you're in 2025, 2005 newspaper doesn't make any sense. But Srimad Bhagavatam, Shukadev Goswami spoke so many years back, and the Tattva and Siddhanta are thousands of years old. It's not something that was presented yesterday or day before. But still, we find the pastimes of Krishna that are present in Srimad Bhagavatam are supremely fresh. Why? Because Sh- Krishna's pastimes have this quality. Tadaiva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. They're always fresh. Second, Tadaiva shashvat manaso mahotsavam. And shashvat, eternally. Eternally, Krishna's pastimes are manaso mahotsavam. They are a festival for the mind. They're a festival for the mind, they're a festival for the heart, they're a festival for the soul. Krishna's pastimes are a festival for the whole body. Tadaiva shokarnava shoshanam dranam. And hearing about the pastimes of Krishna, what happens? Krishna Lila, Gaura Lila, it dries up the ocean of repeated birth and death. You cross over this ocean of Janma, Mrityu, and Jara Vyadi, Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moh, Mad, Matsarya. There's only one way. Leela Katha Rasani Sevanantarena. It's Krishna Katha that's going to dry up the ocean. It's Krishna Katha that is going to be the boat for us to cross over this ocean of repeated birth and death. Yet Uttama Shloka Yashonnukiyate. For who is the person for whom all these things happen? That is the ocean dries up. It is a festival for the mind. The pastimes are new, relishable, palatable, etc. Who is that person? Oh, it is for that person who constantly engages in the hearing of Uttam Shloka, Sri Krishna. Hmm. He who constantly sings about the glories of Uttam Shloka, Krishna is called as Uttam Shloka. Why? Uttam means first class, and Shloka means verses. So he who is always glorified by the best of verses, choicest words is उत्तम श्लोक. जब आचार्यगण भी लिखते हैं कुछ श्लोक की रचना करते हैं, they don't use normal words. They will use rich Sanskrit, right? Bhagavatam we see, or even Chaitanya Charitamrita, the Bengali that we see, they are all rich language. The spoken Bengali will be very different from the Bengali of the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. I don't know Bengali, but I have heard this from a lot of Bengalis. They say that Prabhuji, the Bengali that we speak, the colloquial Bengali is very different from the Bengali that Kaviraj Goswami speaks or writes. Why? Because his Bengali is more rich. Similarly, if you say Hindi, if you say pick up a Hindi Bhagavatam, Hindi Chaitanya Charitamrita, then that Hindi will be very rich. It will not be like the Hindi जैसे हम बोलते हैं. आप और मैं यदि हम हिंदी में बोले तो ये वो नॉर्मल हिंदी हो जाएगा. But the Hindi that's used in Shastra is rich. Why? Because Krishna is very rich as a person. Not as far as money, but as character. And he is Bhagavan. So if someone has to glorify him, the word also has to be the best, the choicest. So he's Uttam Shlok. So we find that every day is good for us. Every day is a festival, as it is explained. Every step is a dance, every word is a song, and every day is a festival. So the aim of studying Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita is so that we can go back to the spiritual world only so that Every step we take is going to be a dance. Every word that we're going to say is going to be a song. And every step or every day is going to be like a festival. So we find with every step that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was taking, he was inundating this world with Krishna Prem. Every place Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going, he was flooding this world with Krishna Prem. And every step that Sanatan Goswami was taking, Sanatan Goswami was going towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He was going um, close to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. With that every step, Sanatan Goswami's soul was being burnt. Every step that he was walking, because of the scorching sun, Sanatan Goswami's soul was being burnt. So the next day, Sanatan Goswami met Jagadananda Pandit. Jagadananda Pandit is Satyabhama in Krishna Lila. And Satyabhama was very short tempered, very short tempered. So we find that same quality, that same trait is seen in Jagadananda Pandit also. Jagadananda Pandit was also very dear to the heart of Gauranga Mahaprabhu, but equally very short tempered. Jaldi gussa aane wale. Hmm? So Mahaprabhu and his associates, they would lovingly call Jagadananda Pandit as Jagga. Jagadananda Pandit was called as Jagga. Because if you're very, very close to someone, then you will not call them by their name. There will be some nickname. आज के जमाने में तो उसे पेट नेम बोल देते हैं. पेट पेट करता तो वो शायद कुत्ता हो बिल्ली हो उसे हम पेट बोलते हैं. But whatever, nickname, pet name. So similarly, Jagadananda Pandit was called as Jagga by his associates. So now Sanatan Goswami meets Jagadananda Pandit, and Sanatan Goswami expresses to him that I feel very bad that Mahaprabhu embraced me, but my body is filled with pus and sore, and all of that touched the body of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. हमें बहुत बुरा लग रहा है. I feel very bad. So let's see what happens. Jagadananda Pandit is junior in comparison to Sanatan Goswami. Sripad Sanatan Goswami is the guru of Srila Rupa Goswami. So from a bhakti standpoint, Sanatan Goswami is very senior to Jagadananda Pandit. But still, in spite of being senior, Sanatan Goswami, now we will see, he will go to Jagadananda Pandit, he will speak his heart out, and will try to take the advice also of Jagadananda Pandit, even though Jagadananda Pandit is junior than Sanatan Goswami. Teaching by example that even if you're a senior in Krishna consciousness, it is also good to listen to the feedback and advice of those who are junior than you. Next day, Sanatan Goswami told Jagadananda Pandit, Lord Chaitanya embraced me although I forbid him. This embarrasses me because the pus of my sores smears his transcendental body. I am committing such offense. Committing such offenses. Jagadananda advised Sanatan, Vrindavan is the suitable place for you. Lord Chaitanya has already ordered both of you brothers to be there. Your purpose in coming here has been fulfilled, for you saw the Lord's lotus feet. After seeing Jagannath during Rath Yatra, you can return to Vrindavan. Sanatan appreciated the advice and thanked him. So now Jagadananda Pandit is saying, I think Vrindavan, I think, is the right place for you. Mahaprabhu anyway told you go to Vrindavan. Why you are staying here? You have anyway taken darshan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So my advice to you is, after the Rath Yatra happens, you pack your bags and you go to Vrindavan. That's your place. Don't be here. So a junior person is advising a senior person. Later, Lord Chaitanya met Sanatan and again embraced him. Sanatan said, O Lord, you touch my body by force without even a pinch of aversion, and blood from my itching sores smear your body. Because of this offense of mine, everything auspicious will be vanquished for me. Kindly allow me to go to Vrindavan after Rath Yatra. Jagadananda also advised me the same. So Sanatan Goswami is now telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, हमें बहुत बुरा लग रहा है. आप हमें कृपया करके आज्ञा दीजिए कि हम रथ यात्रा के तत्पश्चात हम वृंदावन धाम ब्रज धाम चले जाए, हमें यहाँ नहीं रहना, क्योंकि हमें संकोच होता है। हम आपके सामने आए तो आप आलिंगन कर लेते हैं, और जब आप आलिंगन करते हैं हमें बुरा लगता है, क्योंकि हमारा जो देह है, जो शरीर है, ये स्वस्थ नहीं है, क्योंकि ये अस्वस्थ है। तो हम यही चाहते हैं कि आप हमें आलिंगन न करें। बट चैतन्य महाप्रभु is such, he will still go and embrace. So now Sanatan Goswami is saying, my dear Lord Jagadananda Pandit also told me that after Rath Yatra I can go to Vrindavan. When Mahaprabhu heard this, Mahaprabhu became very angry. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jagadananda, he came yesterday, he joined the movement yesterday, and he has become so big that he will give advice to you. वो कल का आया वो बच्चा है, वो इतना बड़ा हो गया कि आपको एडवाइस देगा, आपको उपदेश करेगा। दैट जग्गा इज यंग, ही इज अ स्मॉल बॉय, ही विल गिव यू एडवाइस। Mahaprabhu became very angry. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became angry and said, Jagga, Jagga is only a new boy, but he has become so proud to advise you who are, he became so proud to advise you who are on the level of his guru. You are on the level of my advisor. Jagga's advising you is but the impudence of a naughty boy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't like it. Sanatan Goswami is now thinking, हम क्या करें? I don't want to be here. I would want to be here, but Mahaprabhu is embracing me, that I feel bad because my body is not perfect. And I thought I can go to Vrindavan, but Mahaprabhu is not allowing me to accept the advice of Jagadanda Pandit saying that Jagga is a new boy. तो हम करे तो क्या करें? Sanatan fell at the Lord's lotus feet and said, I can now understand Jagadananda's great fortune and my misfortune. Sanatan Goswami was thinking to himself, Jagadananda is so fortunate. I am not very fortunate. Mahaprabhu thought to himself and said, why? Sanatan, why do you say so? Sanatan Goswami says that, my dear Lord, you are not chastising me. Says, my dear Lord, you are not chastising me, but you are chastising Jagadananda Pandit, which means you are closer to the heart of Jagadananda Pandit than you are closer to the heart of me. So, my dear Lord, I feel very bad because आप जिनसे प्रेम करते हैं, आप जिनसे प्यार करते हैं, you will show your love unto them by chastising them. Sanatan Goswami is telling Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you're Bhagavan, my dear Lord. So, being Bhagavan, if you're chastising someone, that means you like them, but you're not chastising me, which means you like Jagadananda more than you like me. You are making him drink the nectar of intimacy and affection, whereas making me drink the bitter juice of Nimba. Or, yeah, it's written Nimba here, maybe Bimba, I don't know. Drink the bitter juice of Nimba by honor and praise. So for Sanatan Goswami, honor and praise are bitter juice, and chastisement is like sweet nectar. For us, it's the opposite. For us, appreciation and honor is like sweet juice, and chastisement is bitter. But for Sanatan Goswami, it's completely the opposite. Hearing this, the Lord was somewhat ashamed and said, Dear Sanatan, please don't think that Jagadananda is dear to me than you. I cannot tolerate transgression of etiquette. You are an authority in the scripture, whereas Jagga is just a boy. Yet he advised, yet he advised you as I am chastised, yet he advised you, so I am chastising him. I praise you not because you are you are intimate to me, but you are actually qualified. You consider your body awful, but I never think of your body as material. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is again and again saying the same thing, that, my dear Sanatan, I don't feel your body is in any way awful, because Mahaprabhu is not seeing the body. Mahaprabhu is seeing the soul. Mahaprabhu is seeing the personality. Every living entity is the servant of Krishna. Jivera Swarupa hai Nityera Krishna Das. So Chaitanya
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is seeing that aspect of every living entity. So even if Sanatan Goswami's body is not in the best shape, for Sanatan Goswami, he is embarrassed, but Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is still ready to embrace him. Sanatan Goswami, just for himself, is not embarrassed. It's not that Sanatan Goswami is in the bodily platform. Sanatan Goswami is only embarrassed when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes forward to embrace him. Otherwise, Sanatan Goswami is not in a bodily platform. Sanatan Goswami is not thinking, अरे लोग क्या बोलेंगे लोग तू मैं करेंगे छी करेंगे ना For Sanatan Goswami, he doesn't care how his body is, but he cares that my source, my pus should not go on the body of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The body of a pure devotee who serves Krishna without selfish desires is transcendental, just as the temple deity made of stone or wood is transcendental. To think that a devotee's body is material is an offense. To think that the body of Sri Guru is material is an offense. That is why we find that Sri Guru is given samadhi. The body is not burnt. The body is given samadhi. Why? For multiple reasons. One, the body is not normal. It's not an ordinary body. Yes, the Guru may sleep, may eat, may walk around, may do activities like the way we do. So it's very easy to assume that I am eating, Guru is also eating, I am sleeping, Guru is also eating, I am walking, Guru is also walking. Maybe both of us are same. No. Sakshadharittvena samasta shastre. Hmm. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explains that Sri Guru is not different from the Supreme Lord. Guru will not say I am God, but it is the duty of the disciple to see Guru not different from the Supreme Lord. So Samadhi is normally given to Sri Guru for the fact that it is in this body that he achieved Krishna Prema. It is in this body that he achieved Krishna. So we want to preserve that body. Why? Because this body is holy. In this body, he got Krishna. In this body, he got self realization. In this body, he understood who he is in connection with Krishna. This body is glorious. So we want to give samadhi. So we want to preserve the body. Sripad Ayendra Prabhu was asked that, can we give you samadhi after you depart? Because Ayendra Prabhu again is not a, from a GBC standpoint, is not a guru because he never wanted to be, but is very exalted. So sometimes the question can be, why wasn't Ayendra Prabhu given samadhi? So Ayendra Prabhu was asked, and Sripad Ayendra Prabhu immediately said, no, you should cremate my body. And then, upon more inquiry, Ayendra Prabhu said, after I leave this world, I would want every atom of my body to be mixed in the Raj of Sri Vrindavan Dham. I want every atom of Ayendra Das to be mixed with Braj Raj. But if you give me samadhi, my body will take maybe hundreds of years to disintegrate and mix with the Brajaraj. But if you burn my body, if you cremate my body, within seconds, while I was alive, I was in Vrindavan Dham, and even after I depart, my every atom of Aindradas will be mixed with Brajaraj. So don't give me samadhi, cremate my body. So based on Indra Prabhu's desire, his body was cremated. Otherwise, Indra Prabhu is more than qualified to have a samadhi. But we find, nonetheless, Indra Prabhu's um, personal paraphernalia were taken and they were given samadhi. And now also we find in Vrindavan, the samadhi was inaugurated in Goshala. So in Indra Prabhu's samadhi, there are a couple of things that are kept. His Brahmin thread, his beads, his glasses, and things like that. Six things that were very dear to Indra Prabhu that he would use on a daily basis were all put in samadhi. But different devotees have different moods, just like Indra Prabhu. Hmm. Wanting every atom of the body to be mixed with the land of Shiv and Dhavan. So the point here is the body of a sadhu may appear normal, but is not. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued, listen, Haridas and Sanatan, I think of both of you as my little boys. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Sometimes Mahaprabhu, when he was smaller, Mahaprabhu would just play around and be like a very naughty boy. And as Mahaprabhu is traveling and becoming more matured, as the as he ages, Mahaprabhu has this uh, parental affection, has this Vatsalya Bhav, and he's calling Haridas Thakur and Sanatan Goswami and saying, "My dear Haridas and Sanatan, आप दोनों हमारे बच्चे के समान हो. Both of you are like my children." So there is waves of moods that we find in Gauranga Mahaprabhu. At one time, he's chastising Jagadananda Pandit. Another time, he's calling Haridas and Sanatan and saying, "नहीं नहीं, आप दोनों हमारे बच्चे के समान हो." So different moods are seen in the heart of Gauranga Mahaprabhu. When a child passes stool and urine that touch the mother's body, then mother never hates him, but takes pleasure in cleaning him. His stool and urine appear like sandalwood pulp to her. Similarly, when the pus oozing from the source of Sanatan touches my body, I have no hatred for him. So look at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu is saying, जिस प्रकार बच्चा यदि मल मूत्र कर दे तो माता बच्चे से तो भी प्रेम करती है. माता ये नहीं बोलती नहीं नहीं बच्चे ने ये कर दिया हम प्रेम नहीं करेंगे. माता फिर भी प्रेम करती है. So similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying, I am like the mother, Sanatan is like my child. There may be sores and pus on his body, but I still like Sanatan. One time, Srila Prabhupada was invited to give a talk at one place, and there were different speakers there. So Prabhupada was waiting for his turn. And as Prabhupada was sitting, he noticed that these speakers were all speaking um, monism, that sab kuch ek hai, everything is one. So Prabhupada was sitting and hearing, and then after one point, Prabhupada got up. And Prabhupada started walking out. So Prabhupada's disciple, he came and said, Prabhupada, after this, your turn is there. Prabhupada said, no, I don't want to speak. They said, Prabhupada, you are there on the list. Uh, After everyone speaks, you have to also speak. Prabhupada said, I am not interested to speak. I don't feel inspired to speak because they are saying everything is one, everything is one. I don't feel like speaking. So then the disciple said, Prabhupada, who will speak? Prabhupada said, for the level that they are in, even if you speak, that is more than enough. And I don't have to come and speak. आप बात करेंगे वही बस है. You go and speak. And Prabhupada left. So the disciple, he went to the stage and he didn't know what to say because they were all saying everything is one, everything is one. So he said that if there is a gulab jamun on the plate and if there is a stool on the street, will you still say both of them are one? All of you are saying everything is one, सब कुछ एक है, सब कुछ एक है. If there's a gulab jamun on the plate and there's stool on the street, will you say both are one? And the audience, when they heard that example, they were frowning. They didn't like it. So they went to Prabhupada and said, Swamiji, your disciple, he's giving such examples. Prabhupada said, what happened? Then they explained that he gave this gulab jamun and stool example. So Prabhupada, when he heard it, Prabhupada said, I'm sorry. Sometimes my American disciples give very graphic examples, but don't take it very personally. And then Prabhupada apologized, and those people left. And then Prabhupada looked at this disciple and said, what was the example again? So this disciple again explained that Prabhupada, they were saying, "Oh, everything is one." So I gave this gulab jamun and stool example. Prabhupada said, wonderful example. That's what they deserve. For what they were speaking, very good example. So here we find Chaitanya Mahaprabhu saying that just like a child may pass stool and urine, the mother doesn't hate the child, but still likes the child. Similarly, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is like the mother, Sanatan Goswami is like the child. Sanatan Goswami's body may have pus and wound, etc., but still Mahaprabhu is ready to accept. Haridas Thakur said, you are the Supreme Lord and are the most merciful. No one can understand your affectionate heart and mercy. You kindly embraced the leper Vasudev in spite of his condition and made his body as beautiful as that of Cupid. There was another personality by the name Vasudev in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes, and he had leprosy. and he had leprosy. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in spite of he having leprosy, when people don't even go close to the person who has leprosy, why? Because it is contagious. During the times of COVID, we had social distancing. We would maintain social distance. We would not meet. Why? Because it will spread. So leprosy is similar, and leprosy is way more dangerous because the body starts melting. So it's a very painful form of death. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he had heard that Vasudeva is having leprosy, Mahaprabhu went and Mahaprabhu embraced Vasudeva. And not just embraced, by Mahaprabhu's embrace, Vasudeva's body was transformed into that of a very beautiful body, as that of Cupid. And this is not the first time we find so many examples, hmm, where Krishna has embraced someone even though they may be ostracized from the society. No one
Like
would have embraced.
Kubja.
Ah, yes, Srivats, Kubja is also there, correct. Good. We have Kubja also, as to how the Supreme Lord transformed the body of Kubja. So we find personalities who may be ostracized from the society, whom people may not even come close to, or what to speak of embrace, they may not even come close and talk to them. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is ready to go the extra mile to speak to them, accept them, embrace them, and transform them. We will never find a more merciful personality than Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So it is hope giving that however our body is, um, sometimes we may have um, anxieties and so many other things of how we present ourselves outside, because the outside world is such, they always do body shaming. आप ऐसे, आप मोटे हैं, आप पतले हैं, आप सावले हैं, आप गोरे हैं, आप ये है वो है. The whole world does something called as body shaming, right? If you see on social media, if someone puts a post, there are 10 people who like it, and there are 100 people who criticize. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu doesn't do body shaming. Mahaprabhu accepts and embraces. He doesn't do body shaming. He transforms the body. For Vasudev, he straight away transformed the body just by his embrace. So it's very hope giving that whoever may accept us, people may or may not accept us. Mostly people don't accept us. If our body is fragile and not to the best of health. When a person is young, everyone wants him. But when a person gets old and is in a position where he can't walk, he can't move, cannot do anything, we find not many people want such a person. Not many people go and talk to that person. We find that's why old people, someone is like 70, 80, etc. How many people, how many go and talk to such old people? Yes, we may talk to maybe our grandfather or grandmother, but यदि हम कॉलोनी में या रास्ते में कोई बूढ़े व्यक्ति को देखे, we may not stand and we may not talk. Why? Because we feel there's a generation gap or whatever. So when the person is young and can contribute, that time he's given a lot of recognition. But when he comes to a position where he's immovable, he can't contribute much, where he's dependent on others, then we find that same recognition and respect that he probably received when he was maybe in his 20s and 30s has gone down. And that and we it's a fact that we can observe. आप शायद देखे होंगे. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not like that. Whether we are young, whether we are old, whether we can move, whether we cannot move, whether we are Indian or American or wherever we are coming from, whatever our background is, Mahaprabhu is still ready to accept even personalities like Vasudev, who had leprosy, or even Kubja, who had a hunched back. Kubja, who had a hunched back. The Supreme Lord very mercifully just comes and keeps his feet on her feet, and with his, you know, fingers, he just lifts her chin. And as he lifts her chin, the hunchback Kubja now becomes someone who's straight back and 10 times more beautiful than what she was. So, in this way, the Lord's affection for his devotees surpassed the affection of millions of mothers put together. Kaviraj Goswami is saying, the Lord's affection for his devotees surpasses the affection of millions of mothers put together. हजार लाखों की संख्या में यदि जितने भी मातागण है, यदि सब एकत्रित आ जाए, चैतन्य महाप्रभु का प्रेम जो भक्तों के लिए है उससे अधिक होगा. Why? Because he is the mother of all mothers. Krishna Mata, Krishna Pita, Krishna Dhana Pran. Gaura Mata, Gaura Pita, Gaura Dhana Pran. Krishna and Gaura are not different. If mothers have this love for the child, it is originating from the Supreme Lord. Because how will anyone have anything in this world if it's not coming from the Supreme Lord? Srila Prabhupada had said that there is no love in this world. Whatever we see, love is all simply lust. But there is only one love that is very, very close, that comes very close to the love that we see in the spiritual world. केवल इस जगत में एक ऐसा प्रेम है, एक प्रेम संबंध है जो आध्यात्मिक स्तर में यदि देखा जाए, यदि गोलोक धाम के साथ देखा जाए, तो इस जगत में केवल एक ऐसा प्रेम है जो बहुत समीप आता है, दैट इज वेरी क्लोज, वेरी नियर टू दैट लव. Srila Prabhupada said it is the love that the mother has for the child. The love that the mother has for the child is uh, selfless, no conditions, no strings attached. It's completely selfless. So Srila Prabhupada said it's only the mother's love for the child that comes closer to the love that we see in the spiritual world, where it's completely ahaituki apratihata yayatma suprasidati, doing anything and everything for the pleasure of Krishna. The mother does anything and everything for the pleasure of the child, so much so that she can clean the stool and urine also of the child. Similarly, Prabhupada said that is the only form of love which is very, very close. Again, not the same, but very close to the selfless love that is seen in Sri Golok Vrindavan. In this way, we find Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has now embraced Sanatan Goswami, has expressed his heart as to how he's like the mother, Sanatan is like the child, and also parallelly chastised Jagadananda Pandit, saying, "ये तो कल का बच्चा है. Jagga is a new boy. Why is he giving you advice?" So, from Mahaprabhu's standpoint, Mahaprabhu didn't appreciate that Jagadananda Pandit, who was very junior, was giving advice. But Sanatan, who is superior, was still ready to take advice. So we see a devotee principle here that one may be very advanced in Krishna consciousness, but still, wherever there's a good advice, even if someone is senior and it is coming from a junior devotee, if it's a good advice, a devotee still thinks about it, contemplates, and considers whether that can be done or not. So, having said this, we stop here. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Gaura Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Shri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki